So this is what Manchester United usually look like in their build-up phase against a team who are going to press them aggressively in a narrow 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4 shape, using a deep single pivot in the midfield, creating that 3-3-2 shape in the build-up, including Onana. Now I am writing this before the Brighton game, so maybe Ten Hag does change it up, but this is what he usually goes with. And the issue I have with this is against an aggressive pressing 4-2-4 shape, when the ball gets shifted to one of the centre-backs, it becomes relatively easy for the opposition to cut the passing lane from Martinez into the central midfielder ahead of the double pivot on that side, in this example Mainu, and this subsequently either forces Martinez out wide to United's left back, which kind of boxes him in a corner and leaves him with not many options apart from going long. Or what usually happens is United go long from the centre back or goalkeeper, and without a real target man in the forward line or any sort of coordinated movement, this often leads to the opposition regaining possession, which I think is the main issue in United's build-up phase. So what's the solution to this problem? But before that, if you want to check out any of the new season jerseys, go over to Jersey FIFA. They've also got the club retro and international jerseys as well. You can use code Atlantis at checkout for a discount. A link will be in my Instagram bio, which I will leave linked in the description. Well, I think that Ten Hag has to use Onana better in possession, and he could do this by taking inspiration from the second coming of Christ, Roberto De Zerbi, over at Marseille, who seems to have already evolved his build-up strategy from Brighton. Now I know the Ten Hag cult don't like me mentioning other managers, so I'll make this analysis quick and hopefully you can forgive me for blaspheming. But against Brest last weekend, which is surely a team full of NPCs, we saw De Zerbi use the keeper as essentially a centre-back in possession in order to give his team a man advantage further up the pitch. Because as you can see, Geronimo Rulli, the goalkeeper, is basically playing as a right-sided centre-back in possession. And the main effect of this is that the Brest centre-back is forced to play the hokey cokey, as he doesn't know whether to go in on the Marseille player behind the midfield pressing line, leaving Brest 3v3 on the halfway line, or stay out, keeping a 4v3 on the halfway line, but giving Marseille a free player in a massive amount of space between the lines, with Brest using that 4-1 press at the top of the pitch, trying not to get completely outnumbered by Marseille's 6 in their defensive third. Geronimo Rulli has possession, but because the two Brest central midfielders are man-to-man pressing Marseille's deep double pivot, who are basically on the edge of their own box, a passing lane now opens up between them, and with one pass Rulli's able to split the midfield line, work the ball into Luis Enrique in behind the press, and the Brest centre-back has been caught in between two minds, leaving Brest 3v3 at the back, but also not tight enough to stop Luis Enrique being able to receive possession centre-back, which is something we've also seen from managers like Maresca and Pep, amongst other managers over the last few months, and I think this is going to be the big tactical trend for this season. And I think Ten Hag has to start using Onana in this way to allow United to gain an extra man higher up in the middle of the pitch. So this is what I would do. I would use a midfield double pivot in the build-up phase, dropping right to the edge of the box in order to drag the opposition central midfield high up the pitch, with United sitting in a 4-3-4 of sorts in this phase of play. Utilising Onana as a temporary right-sided centre-back inside of his own box, United can then create a wide back four, with De Ligt pulling out to a wider position and Mazraoui moving higher up the flank, meaning that if the opposition want to continue an aggressive man-to-man press against United's deeper four, they would have to commit their entire front four to the press, and as you'll see in the next few images, this will lead to United having a free man higher up the pitch. Also, just to cause more problems, I would also have the central two in the front four, Bruno and Xerxes in this example, both dropping into these deeper areas behind the opposition's high midfield. As if the centre-backs decide to hold their position, then United could have one or two free players in this massive space behind the press. But if the centre-backs both follow Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes deep, now they are forced to open up a massive space in the centre of the back line. But United need to be able to identify where the free man is in a given situation in order to exploit the numerical advantage. And in this example, it's Mazraoui on the right, with the opposition not able to assign a player to all of United's outfield players because of course they can't push the keeper forward, and with Onana being utilised as an outfield player in possession, United naturally are always going to have a man advantage somewhere on the pitch during the build-up phase. And so from here, if United work the ball down the right side, this is where they're going to be able to utilise the free man, with the opposition's left winger in a positional dilemma, and United having a 2v1 on the right flank. See, if he pushes up looking to press De Ligt immediately after he receives the ball, then Onana can simply beat the press with a lofted pass over his head into the chest-off feet of the free man Mazraoui on the flank. If he drops off to stop this pass into Mazraoui, now he has to afford De Ligt a lot of space, potentially allowing him to drive forward with the ball, from where he can either look for a pass into Bruno or Xerxes if they are free, or if the centre-backs have followed them, he can go for a long ball down the centre, looking for the diagonal runs of Rashford and Ahmad from out to in, looking to get them in behind the back line, or he could drive forward with the ball and use Mazraoui in the numerical advantage to play around the opposition's left winger on the right flank. And so hopefully that explains why I think Ten Hag needs to use Onana more as a centre-back in the build-up phase in order to give United a numerical advantage elsewhere. And to be honest, I think not utilising Onana is a waste because of how good he is in possession. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, you can check out my Patreon, sign up to the newsletter, but let me know your thoughts in the comments section as well.